All right, what's up, everybody? Look, I wanted to address the BlackRock and Solana news that we just got. There's someone in my room. But I wanted to address the BlackRock Solana news that we got yesterday and just kind of talk about why I think this is a nothing burger, why I think that people are stressing for no reason, and realistically, why the Solana price isn't really falling as a result of this news, because it's truly just not that big of a deal. Now, I know I'm about a day late to this. I'm sorry about that, but I at least wanted to give you guys my opinion here on the channel. And then I'm actually going to get the opinion of our ginger-headed friend here in a second. Now, let me talk about why this is not important. Okay, so what we've said on the channel from day one is that the general direction of where Solana is going is not reliant on any individualized source of inflows, income, revenue, any of those things realistically. Solana's primary value is the ecosystemic growth. Simple as that. There's really no questions asked. As Solana continues to develop, as we start to see this network grow, their primary focus as a foundation or just as a company, whatever you want to call it, is to simply put everyone in a position on which whatever you need on Solana, whatever you need to build on Solana or consume on Solana is there for you. Right. And so this isn't a company that is, or a token even, that's relying on inflows to make that happen. Sure, it can speed things up. Sure, it can make us get to higher price points faster, which then in turn can inject more liquidity into the ecosystem and help it grow. But at the end of the day, Solana's been in a situation, and it's continuously been developing over the last few years without these things. Solana got into a spot in which people didn't even think it was going to exist 1 week later, 1 month later after the FTX news. But what ended up happening is that they put their heads down. They went back to work, and they put Solana into a position to where not only has it recovered from then, it's gotten better since then. It's gotten more reliable. It's gotten faster. It's gotten cheaper. And so, in my opinion, first and foremost, this entity, this news, the thoughts of even having a Solana ETF, I told you all, I was like, I'm not even thinking about it because it doesn't change the general direction of where Solana is trying to go. Sure, it could speed it up, but not having it doesn't slow it down. And that's why I don't believe that it's a big deal. 1. 2, the second reason why I don't think that it's so important is quite simply just because I don't believe what people say at that level of being a lizard person. I'm just kind of joking, but not particularly. But these major entities, these big companies, these people who are in control of trillions of dollars, they always say one thing and do another. Or oftentimes they say one thing and that the reasoning for this one thing is something, but it turns out to be a whole nother thing. And so whenever you get news that one of the employees from BlackRock comes out and says that Solana just doesn't meet the criteria that it's looking for an ETF, that truly could be just them kind of changing direction. It could be them changing course. It could be a diversion. They could be trying to set up a bit of a better launch than what they've seen from Bitcoin and Ethereum, because Ethereum's kind of been somewhat of a dud. It's been good. It's just not been their projections that they released. And then, of course, when Bitcoin initially launched, whenever the ETF for Bitcoin initially launched, it sucked up until a few weeks later, if not a few months later. And so they could be changing strategy. You never can truly know. And so there could easily be a situation in a world in which they say that it's not here for the near term. And then by the end of the year, Solana's at $300. And next thing you know, and I'm not saying that's my price prediction, but just hypothetically, they come back in and now they make the Sol ETF live because all of their investors want access to Solana. Things like that are possible. And so whenever these big companies, and I call them lizard people, say one thing, it's never set in stone, in my opinion, because they go back on it as often as anyone else. And so because of those two things, 1, Solana doesn't need it, and 2, I don't believe the things that they say. I just don't really feel like it's that big of a deal. Now, I'm actually going to turn the thing over to Connor here just in a second, and I'm curious about your thoughts, right? Like, in this situation where you have an entity like BlackRock coming out and saying, look, like Solana doesn't particularly meet the criteria, do you actually take that into consideration with your fundamental analysis of Solana, or is it more just like, okay, that's your opinion?
Yeah, I don't think it really matters what BlackRock thinks. First of all, BlackRock are liars, lizard people, like you say. So we can get gains from BlackRock. The ETF for Bitcoin, BlackRock has an ETF. We got gains from it. The ETF for Ethereum, BlackRock has an ETF for Ethereum. We haven't yet got gains from it, but most likely I believe it will. Now, BlackRock isn't the reason that we're getting those gains. I think we would still be in a bull market without the ETF. It just kicked it off earlier. So them saying that they don't see a fundamental need for a Solana ETF doesn't mean that Solana doesn't have a need within our ecosystem. Also, remember, guys, Ethereum didn't have an ETF in the last bull run. It went to a $400-500 billion market cap. I'm here at the end of the day to make money. I don't think that the BlackRock ETF is going to hinder Solana from going up. However, I do think that it would have made it go up more. Say today we got news that there was a BlackRock ETF. The news of that ETF would send Solana higher. And I, as someone who's here to make money, would make money from that. Perfect, great. It'd probably go up. It'd go sideways. They would announce it. It might go boom, and then it would go down again, and I'll just buy it again. So from a fundamental perspective of the technology behind Solana, it makes no difference if BlackRock has an ETF. Who cares? But for a price point and a price catalyst, of course it matters. It matters. But we're here in crypto for decentralization. We're here to change the status quo. And I'm here to make money. I don't know about your audience, but I'm here to make money. And the only one that matters for BlackRock is they're making money. The other two don't matter. Solana is going to continue to be, in my opinion, the other choice. We've got Bitcoin, which is my biggest holding, and that solves the purpose of just being decentralized store of money, right? That's all it really is. I don't think Bitcoin is going to be what we transact in with life. Maybe the Lightning Network helps with that, but that's not my general consensus, right? Bitcoin is gold, right? And internet gold, and there's a need for it. I can move $1 billion. Not that I have $1 billion, but I could move $1 billion in my pocket when I travel. That's the utility. That's why I want it, right? Ethereum is basically one idea of the internet. That also has their layer 2s, and they're the scaling solution for Ethereum. Ethereum sucks. It's too expensive. It's slow. It's rubbish. But the layer 2s make it good, right? So Ethereum and the layer 2s are one thing. And then the other idea is potentially Solana. And Solana is the reason why those three are the biggest positions in my portfolio. So to answer your question, BlackRock's ETF being denied, delayed, never happening, doesn't make any difference to what Solana's doing. If you're here for immediate price action, then this may simply slow it down. But again, Ethereum got to a $500 billion market cap with not even an idea of an ETF. So why couldn't we do this again? And that's not to say that Ethereum isn't going to go significantly higher. Just Solana is going to also get some of that appreciation. And my bet is on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana as my most high conviction. And it's only recently changed Solana. I bought Solana at $20, but I wasn't anywhere near as high conviction as I am now. Yeah. A much more high conviction now. That's why I went really heavy all the way down to $124. And now I'm riding that wave. Yeah. And yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Totally. Yeah, no, it did. Thank you for that. And you guys can hear it from that too. It's just, you can't get too drawn into this shit. You know, as someone who's been covering Solana since 2021, so we're coming up on 3.5 years now. It's just, you get used to it, right? Especially within the world of Solana, you get used to it. There's this, then that. This thing failed. This thing stopped working. Solana's down. This founder said this. This CEO said that. It's just what happens here, right? And Solana, although is one of the most volatile cryptos in the world, it's kind of used to these things. And when you look at Solana's price right now, it's not tanking because BlackRock said that. No one really gives a fuck. And so at the end of the day, you just have to understand that it's a part of the investment. There's going to be letdowns and disappointments. There's going to be excitement. There's going to be hype. And the moment that you can just ride that center line between all of that, it's really an easy choice, right? That's why the reason why whenever this thing started to fall and we saw it hitting those low teen numbers, we were sitting here on the channel like, yeah, this could be quite destructive, but if they figure it out, I still think a $300, $400 Solana is possible. And people were saying it's not possible. People were saying that we were stupid for continuing to talk about it. Everybody but a couple other people, shout out to Invest Answers and Millie and the other guys who were still talking about Solana. People stopped really talking about it. And then now here we are, right? And so the conviction remains the same. The ideology behind us all remains the same. It's just a matter of sticking it out. So fuck the news. Honestly, don't care. Not a big deal at all. But I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. So definitely let me know down there. And guys, also don't forget, while you are down there, you can check out my link to Margex. If you do want to trade some Solana yourself, you can get up to $10,000 in bonuses. But of course, I hope you guys did enjoy today's vid, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.